I'm very impressed because it's a big team, you know. Me when I work, I'm alone. Yeah, you know, I think that to go in different parts of the world to present his work and to try to answer to the invitation is very important, especially about the subject that I try to work. As you know, I work about some subject that sometimes the main media doesn't want to work about, or sometimes they make a lot of disinformation about that. So it's important to try to present the film and have some discussion with different kind of people in different parts of the world. So it's theoretically my position, and for Ljubljana especially, now I have some very good connection and link, and I can say some relation of friendship with some people. For example, Joris Meden, and I have a good relation with Marina since 2011. It's also a question of feeling, you know, and interest and position, political position, but also aesthetical position that we can share and defend and present. So I'm very happy to come to be in the past in Ljubljana and to come again in Ljubljana because it's important to create a process, you know, and to try to write something in the time and not only in one shot. Sometimes in festival, you know, it's a very big festival. You are here, you present the film. It's very short. You haven't really built a relation, and here in Ljubljana it's totally different. It's also a kind of relation that I built with some people here in Ljubljana. We work in Ljubljana, and we take some risk about some aesthetical and political position. So I come in Ljubljana with a lot of pleasure, and I will come if I will be invited in the future. It's the second film that I made about the situation of the migrant in Calais. Calais is the town in the north of France, a transit zone where a lot of people from Middle East or Africa, East Africa especially, are, and they try to go in England. So it's the town with a lot of migrants, the most closer than England, and very famous in France since now 2002. The date where a big center managed by the Red Cross was closed by the Minister of Interior at this time. It was Nicolas Sarkozy. So I spent it. I start my work on this place. I start my work on this place, and I stay. My work about the policies about immigration because it's the earth of my project. Actually. I start my work in 2007 in this place. I stay 3 years on the place, and I had a lot of material, of course, and I made one film, May They Rest in Revolt, which was present here in Ljubljana in 2011. And I had a lot of material, you know, and of course when you make the editing, you know, it's you can put everything, you know, and sometimes you don't use some very strong and important pictures. So after the first film, I was very satisfied. I expressed myself, and I did what I wanted to do, you know. But in the same time, a lot of material very important wasn't used, you know, for the editing of the first films. And it was a little bit a pity for me. You know? I was a little bit frustrated because some material was very powerful, you know. Because it wasn't because you don't use some material that the material is less interesting than the other one, you know. When you make the editing, it's a question of tonality, of truth, of feeling at the moment, you know. And the second reason, I had a lot of engagement and commitment with some subject about the pictures that I record and shot. So quickly I felt the necessity to make another film. So I make another film. And after some people who support my work asked for the film, and the film was in different festivals in different parts of the world and won some prize, not only, and especially a big prize in Torino Film Festival. You know, he won the prize of the best documentary. Has My Very Western Revolt won some prize, and especially a big prize in South America. And well, I'm very pleased to present the film here in Slovenia, in Isola Festival first, and in Ljubljana now, and especially in this collaboration between the Cinematheque and the Festival of Migration. So Calais now, since 2002, is a very famous place, you know, with a lot of migrants. It's a place where a lot of politicians came to present their politics and defend their own career. It's where what I show in the first film. For example, when the new Minister of Immigration, Eric Besson, at this time came in the jungle and destroyed the jungle, it was a way to give a lot of visibility to his policy, and at the same time to his own career. So it's a place where the politicians expose their view and their promotion, and in the same time it's a place where the migrants are very exposed to the media and the politicians. It's a very dialectical place, very emblematic, I think, about the policies about immigration in Europe, because Calais is a very small town. It's the biggest in the north, but it's in fact a small town, and the policies about immigration are very visible. You know, you can see some dispositif that you can find in some other town in France, for example, but in the other town is less visible. In Calais, it's very, very evident. You know, the police hunt the migrant all the time. The migrants are everywhere in the town. You can find some traces of the migrant on the ground. It's very emblematic and evident for me. So I thought that it was interesting to start my work on this place, you know, and especially on this place because in the same time, as I said, it's a place with a lot of representation. You know, a lot of media are in this place, so they give some representation of the migrants, and I'm not satisfied by the representation that the media gave about the situation. Sometimes it's some representation very close the view of the power, you know, so they stigmatize the migrant. Sometimes it's a very conventional or social approach about the migration, and the migrants are shown as a victim with a lot of miserabilism, stuff like that. I was against these kind of things, and of course a lot of scene and situation wasn't recorded and shot and present in the report or documentaries. So when I was on the place, my idea was to understand the policies about immigration by the consequences of these policies on the ground, on the body, on the story of the people, and how the people and the migrant, but not only the migrant, but also sometimes the people in Calais react about this kind of policy and succeed to define some strategy of resistance and of surviving. Yes. So I was on the place. I spent a lot of time. You know, when you spend 3 years on the place, you can make a lot of meeting. You can and I choose to spend some time because I wanted to have the time to create a dialogue with the people and not steal the pictures as a lot of people, documentary filmmaker, journalists can do. So time to engage a meeting, a dialogue, try to build a relationship with the people, and when you like that a little bit respectful with the people, you know, you can have a lot of information, knew some things that you didn't expect before, and the film is the result of this dialogue. You know, it's the fruit of the relation and the dialogue, and it's why perhaps you think that some things are very strong.